So I'm very excited to bring you guys Spinnaker on the channel. Finally, this is the Fleuss, their sort of Blancpain 50 Fathoms inspired watch. Very good looking watch. I'm going to get right into it. It came in two outer boxes. There's a cardboard box and then another cardboard box that actually has some packaging around it. So very safely shipped to me and very nicely shipped. It has a cardboard sort of canvas covered inner box. It's very heavy actually. And it is in two tones. So there's silver on the lid and then a blue on the bottom. And it's signed Spinnaker. It's a little bit of embossment there. Very nice packaging, actually. First of this that I've seen with a sort of canvas on canvas box, which is nice. Inside, I don't have the warranty because this was sent to the channel, obviously, for review. I don't need to return it to them, so they did not provide me a warranty card. Typical for review watches. However, I believe that if you obviously buy one, you would get one. And it's signed Spinnaker right there again. Very nice box. And then, of course, here is the watch. So as I mentioned, this is their Fleuss. This is sort of their 50 Fathom homage. It's inspired by the 50 Fathoms. So you do get a beautiful inlaid bezel inlaid with K1 mineral crystal, so a hardened mineral crystal. You get a sapphire crystal on the watch itself, but then on the bezel you get a domed mineral crystal, which is really, really nice. And then the dial. The dial is the silver white colorway, and I'll do close-ups of all of this. But you have applied indices, they are gilt, so are the hands, and then the dial itself is a pebble, almost sand texture, which gives it a really good sort of texturing. It sort of mats the dial a little bit. It definitely has silver, white, cream in it, and it looks good. Then you get the Spinnaker logo there at the 12 o'clock, and above the 6 o'clock it says automatic, and then in red it gives you the depth rating. In a little window here at the 3 o'clock, you get a date. Screwed-in crown, screwed-in case back. Let's listen to the bezel action very quickly. Now I have very dry hands. This is a polished bezel, so it is a little bit hard for me to grip, but it feels really good and sounds excellent and lines up perfectly. There is a minute track that goes around the dial, sort of a little bit of a contrast between the dial and the minute track, so it stands out very nicely, and that is just in black on the outside. I'm going to do a lume shot at the end. Obviously, this has lume. I believe the bezel is also lume, so we're going to do a lume shot. Sign crown. This is a 43 millimeter watch, 51 millimeter lug to lug, which is a true lug to lug. And then a 13 millimeter thickness, 150 meters of water resistance, and as I mentioned, unidirectional bezel with hardened mineral glass. So just a good looking setup on this watch. You get a really nice bracelet on here, very solid links, solid end links, push pins on the bracelet itself. And then you have polishing just on the bevels of each one of the center links. Everything else is brushed. A very nice, solid, very typical micro brand sort of milled clasp, which works really well. You also get micro adjust in here, and it's 3 positions, and then a diver's extension, which is pressed. So if you do not like that, keep that in mind. But it is nice that it has a diver's extension, a little bit extra there. And then, of course, like I said, 3 positions of micro adjust, double folding with double push buttons right here. Signed Spinnaker right there on the clasp itself. Mostly milled except for that diver's extension. And then on the back of the watch, you can see the actual NH35. So this is an automatic watch, obviously. Japanese NH35 there with a custom rotor that just says Spinnaker. A little bit of a, I guess that's a globe, and it's in a black color. Looks good. I like that they put a display case back, but I could do without it. It doesn't make a difference to me when it comes to the NH35, a display case back or not. Some people really want to have it. Some people don't care. I'm one of the people who really don't care either way. And this is on sale right now. I think you can get these for around $270. Normally they're priced around $340 or $350. And right now they're offering 20% off if you use the code SPINN20. So you can get 20% off using that code. I will put a link to their website in the description below. I really think this is a good looking watch. I really like the setup of the watch. The indices and hands, I like the gilt color. I really love the dial. The dial itself adds a lot of character to this watch. I love the texturing, and I love that bezel. I mean, what's not to like about a domed mineral crystal bezel? I wish it was sapphire, but I think that would significantly up the price on this watch, and you're paying around $270 for this watch with the current discount. That is pretty good for an automatic watch that is basically, you know, got all the specs of your typical micro brand, without really any of the compromise. So you're getting a really nice buckle, you're getting a really nice bracelet, beautiful dial, and a beautiful bezel on here, with 150 meters of water resistance. And you can see the movement, which is, you know, pretty cool if you like that. For $270, that's pretty damn good in my opinion. But very quickly, let me throw it on my wrist so you guys can see on my 7.5-inch wrist how this watch wears. Like I said, it's 43 millimeters and then a 51 millimeter lug width. So I'm going to throw it on my wrist so you guys can see very quickly. Today I am wearing Mitch Mason. This is the Chronicle. I've been wearing this over the past few days. Just a really cool field watch. Very fun watch. I really like it. So here is the Spinnaker on my 7.5-inch wrist. I have not sized this for my wrist. However, you can see 43 millimeters wears like a 43 millimeter. That 51 millimeter lug width is a true lug width of 51 millimeters because you do have female end links here. So it does go straight down at the actual lug ends. You do have brushing and polishing on the actual case itself. Brushing on the top, you have a chamfered edge that goes along the watch, and then brushing on the sides. I'll do close-ups of that. You have polishing along the bezel edge, and then polishing on the case back. So a few different areas of polishing on here, mostly on the center links, as I mentioned, on the sides of the center links, which looks really good. So not a flashy watch. That dial does do a lot for this watch. I think it gives it a little bit of class. It definitely dresses it up a little bit. And I'll do close-ups of it because that dial is really gorgeous. So very quickly, let's do a lume shot and see how the lume holds up on this watch. I believe that they put BGW9 on the dial and on the indices and hands and on the actual bezel, but let's check it out. So they did a really good job. The lume is excellent on this watch. I really love the lume on the indices. They're sort of like little blocks of lume. They are very, very bright. Obviously, the bezel is lumed. They lume the second hand. There's little arrows that point to the indices, the primary indices at 12, 9, 3, and 6. Those are also lumed. So there's a lot of lume on this dial. Looks very good. They did a great job on the lume on here. Very heavily applied, definitely on those hands, especially the indices. And then, of course, on the bezel itself, really nicely applied as well. Overall, beautiful watch. I love the dial. I love the bezel. Just a very good looking watch. I think this will look good on a strap as well. The bracelet's very nice. And I like the execution on this watch. I think they did a great job. And especially for the price, when you consider the price is $270 with those discounts, that's a very good price for this watch. Automatic NH35, which is a very reliable movement. 150 meters of water resistance, really all that you ever really need, especially if you are a desk diver like myself. I think this is a very capable watch as well. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I'm super excited to have Spinnaker on the channel finally. I think they make some pretty cool watches at a very affordable price, which is always a good thing. They make a few different brands also, so this is just one of them, and I think that they use some of that know-how and they spread it along each one of their brands. This is a very well-spec'd watch for a very good price. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel. I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.